Greetings, peace, love, and light. I wanted to come on to the platform and talk about love because it's different types of ways you can love a person. And I'm always getting you have to unconditionally love a person after you get to know the person, after you've met the person. But the truth is, unconditional love is always love. Unconditional love is love all the time. So, messing around and dabbling in the little things that involves loving another person is not necessarily unconditional love. Learning how to love is not unconditional love. Because unconditional love is feeling like validation doesn't matter. Unconditional love is feeling like being proven right or wrong doesn't matter. It's a sense of I'll be fine without or with. And I see most people are religious, they're Christians, and there's other religions out there. You may be spiritual, you may be on the spiritual path, but there is source. In all religions, no matter what religion you have, there will always be source. And unconditional love comes from that, comes from source. It comes from that knowing that there is something greater than just you. There's something greater than just what you do, what the life you have, and the things, and the materialistic things that you have in your life. There's something way more than that. And that's what we're talking about, because love is source. Love is not just the things you do for someone or the things you tell someone or how you feel. It's what is, and it's what it will be when you're gone. You'll never know how people react towards you'll never be not surprised by the way people react towards unconditional love. Actually not having a problem with being alone, because you're not actually alone. You're with the source. You're with the presence of comfortability. You're with the presence of safeness. You're with the presence of you're with the presence of reassurance and a presence of not being in fear. You feel safe. And when people look at you and think that, and look at you and they're being with you, and they feel as though I don't want to break his or her heart, because I feel as though they'll feel lonely when I'm gone, or they'll miss me, or they won't want me to go, and etc. And that's why a lot of people, including me, had a problem with attachment issues, where you'll get too close. You feel like you got too close to a person. You feel as though you will be taken advantage because you love this person too much. You feel as though if you love this person too much and they leave, you won't know what to do without them. And that's why you must have source, unconditional love at that. Doing things without people is not doing things without yourself. You must know that you have yourself at all times. No matter what you go through in life, you must hold space. And holding space is holding Most High. Holding on to what's good. Holding on to positiveness. Holding on to fulfilled hopes. Holding on to faith. Holding on to success, abundance, and prosperity over your life. Holding on to a better version of yourself, and believing that better version of yourself believes in you. So anytime you need validation, you can get it from yourself. Anytime you need in anytime you need inspiration, you can get it from yourself. Because it's not necessarily coming from one's self, it's coming from self. And that self is Most High. And Most High will always give you what you need because He's unconditional love. And once you develop a relationship with that version of yourself, that highest version of yourself, and realize that that highest version of yourself is the doorway, the connection, the key to being tapped in with Most High, you will realize, you will come to understand the way to talk to people, the way to interact to people, the way to be able to stand in your power, stand in your presence, hold space with or without a loved one, with or without that best friend, family, co-worker, job, physical, materialistic things in your life. You'll know how to hold on to what matters. You'll know how to hold on to what you need. And what you need is self. And the knowledge of self taps into a limitless mindset. And that's when you change your paradigm. When you tap into that limitless self, that limitless Most High, that limitless version of yourself, that the best version of yourself, the unconditional love, is where you find solitude. It's where you find solitude. It's where you find peace. It's where you find understanding, and overstanding. It's where you find new opportunities. It's where you find the courage. It's where you find love. And everything that we do in life is not necessarily everything, but most things that people think they have to go through in life is blinders. It's blinders put over their eyes. And it's so blinding that it's getting them to believe that it's a lock. When there's not locked, you can take them off. But what you see, you may not want to look at, because that's the truth. Unconditional love comes with the unconditional truth. So that means regardless of how they feel, what they'll do, you'll still tell the truth. And that's what involves you being tapped in with source, being tapped in with self, being tapped in with unconditional love in the highest version of yourself, is being able to tell people the truth. Tell people the truth regardless of how they react to it. Tell people regardless of how they feel about it. Tell people the truth regardless about how you react and how you feel about it. That's unconditional love, because you know that if that person is upset with that truth and doesn't want to hear from you ever again, doesn't want you to tell them the truth, then they'll have to leave you, or you will have to leave them. But you're fine with that. That's part of self, unconditional love, being with Most High. And that will be Most High protecting you as well. Because you know that this person, if this person can't take the truth, then they'll lie to you. If this person can't allow themselves to be told the truth because it hurts, then they will allow themselves to be lied to, and they will lie to you. I know that sounds kind of confusing, but if you say it over and over in your head, it'll make sense. These people don't want to be told the truth because all their life they've been lied to, or all their life they've been lying. I've been around people who seem to con things. They will complain about their lives and say, "Oh, this girl is, oh my, I'm going through a rough time, da da da," or "I got to focus on so much things, paying bills, da da da. I have to go to work. I don't like going to work, but I'll still have to because I have to. And if I don't, I won't be able to pay my bills." That's because that's their mind. That's your mind. Because, put it like this, what you think about, what you say, you think about, you do, and you see. What you say, you'll eventually start. What you hear, what you hear, you'll eventually start saying it. And you'll eventually start thinking about it. And you'll eventually start doing it. And you'll eventually start seeing it play out in your life. So if you keep constantly thinking about, oh, I need to pay my bills, or I need to go to work, or I won't be able to pay my bills, you will have to go to work and you'll think about not being able to pay your bills. And then you'll have to you'll put yourself in that fear mindset to where I'll have to keep doing this over and over again so I can get this outcome over and over again. Instead of thinking outside of that box of materialistness and calling on to your highest version, calling on to spirits, calling on to Most High, calling on your ancestors and love and light to be able to get different aspects of things. Like, I need that job, so I'll figure out how I can be that job. I'll figure out how they do that job so I can make it my job without working for them. If you know, you know. I'll make it to where when I pay this bill, that will be contributing towards me making more money, so that this bill doesn't have to be something that I have to worry about, instead of something that I will look forward to paying, because I know it's a return on interest. If you know, you know. Love has to do with those things. Let me tell you why. Because you won't do something good. You won't do something the best you can. You won't put your full potential into something that you don't like doing, that you don't love doing. Even if you're good at it. If you don't like doing it, you won't be able to experience it and use it to its full potential. Use those gifts that you have in that area of career at your fullest potential, because you don't love it. You don't put unconditional love into it. You don't put your highest version of yourself into it. So you will be doing it on a subpar level. You will be doing it just because you have to, and not necessarily because you love to. And that goes into relationships. I had problems with past relationships because I didn't understand that what she felt what she felt about me may look the same, but it wasn't the same. The way she loved me may felt the same, but it wasn't the same. So she could love me in different places in her life. She could love me in different ways. It all together, it felt like love, but she showed me love in a different way. So I had to look at it and see, is that the type of love that I deserve? Is that the type of love that I want? Is that the type of love that I'll just get? Is that the only type of love that I'll get? And I figured out that you have to have a certain empathy. See, unconditional love comes with empathy, empathizing with a person, feeling another one's emotions and knowing how they go through, being able to put your feet in their shoes. And I realized that she had problems. I won't say problems, but she had problems as well with her relationships, and she figured that as though she had to take control of a relationship instead of letting that relationship flow and balance itself out. She had to take care of all the aspects of how love should be. And what that was you was trying to make somebody love something that they never got love from. You was trying to make somebody identify with a type of love that doesn't that they don't identify with themselves. Like, I cannot love you that way because my love is totally different from that. And when you realize those type of aspects of love, you're able to just knock those out the way, and then you put unconditional love in the middle. You realize you don't need to be in relationships or nothing to have unconditional love, because loving yourself means you love others, and if you don't love yourself means you can't love others. So I loved deeply, and I was very observant of the relationships that I had. And I'm going to tell you something, my relationships was very short, but my love for that person, it's still here. That's how I know that I'm a person who's really connected to Source, to Most High, to the highest version of myself, because it was always a factor of we never left off on a bad foot. It was always a love that wasn't understood, because they loved me in a way to where they was taught. They was taught to love what I have. They was taught to love what I do. They was taught to love what I say, and not taught to love who I am. So that love fell short. It fell on deaf ears, deaf end, because I was loving them for who they was, and they was loving me for what I had. So they fell out of love with me. No, so they fell out of love with me and fell out of a relationship with me. I just fell out of a relationship with them, not love, because I know who they truly are. It's just that most girls that I've dated couldn't see their potential. That was something that I had on my part as well. I always saw the best in someone, even if they didn't want to be the best version of themselves. I always saw the best version of other people, even if they didn't want to be the best version of themselves. So when I dated women, I dated the women that I saw something in them. I saw potential. I dated women that I saw potential in. Not necessarily the women who was trying to become their potential. I dated the women that I just saw potential. And that was my problem. And that's played a crucial part in my life, because in the future I always felt like that I can make a person be better, but that comes with obstacles, and that comes with distance as well, because some people will only be better when you leave them. You can only love a person how you want to love them when you're not with them. You can only love them from a distance sometimes. And that's what made me feel lonely, because I thought I was presentless. I thought I had no one caring for me, and I forgot that I had to care for me. You feel me? So, and I'll tell you about this past love that I had. And this is how I knew that I can love a person without being in a relationship with them. So there was this girl that I had been friends with as a child, and we've been close, not for that long, but it was not for that long. It was only, I guess, 3 years of us hanging out together, talking to each other, and just doing this and that and the third. This person was a part of my life when I was still curious about love. Well, I didn't know that how to love myself, and how I connected with this person was loneliness. I always felt alone, but out of nowhere, this person wants to hang with me, and I feel as though I'm not worthy, or I feel as though I don't deserve the attention I've been given. And so one point of time in me being able to hang out with her and stuff, she showed me this type of presence of I want you to be with me, but she never said it. She said I want to be with. Well, she never said it, but the presence she gave was I want to be with you. She will always she will always like to hang out with me. There was never a dull moment when we were together. She loved for me to hang out with her all day until sun goes down. But every time someone asked, "Are y'all dating? Do you like her?" she would say no. I would say no, but I was lying. I don't know if she was lying, but I was lying. I liked her. And the thing about it, I never wanted to sexually do anything with her. I was just so in love with the fact that I was so in love with her presence, just the presence of her, just presence of her being with me, because my unconditional love was natural for me. That was my authentic self, me being in natural love. Me being in love with someone besides who they are, what they do, what they say, where they are. And I still love that person to this day. And what we need to understand is about love is it stays forever. All we do is lie to ourselves. That's all we do. All we do is tell lies that we're not in love. We don't love. Love doesn't exist. But that's what's making it hard to love. Lying to yourself, saying you don't love her. Lying to yourself, saying you don't love him. And when you lie to yourself, you have to prove it. So you'll have to eventually break their heart based off your lies. You're saying, "Oh, I don't really love her, so I can just cheat." "Oh, I don't really love him, so I'ma just cheat." That's what people do. All in relationships. They are all in love. We are all in love. We just have to lie to ourselves. And that's what makes life so hard. We have to lie about love. I'm going to end this off with peace, prosperity. I hope somebody wake you up tomorrow with a text that says, "I love you." I hope your mom, your dad, family member, anyone important in your life tells you that they love you.